I feel naturally I have that desire to reach out because of when I became a Christian, it was a big change for me. So I think the desire to reach out has always been there. One thing I can remember about it is the apprehension of not knowing what to say or how people will respond. So I think that was those were two main concerns. So telling your story was a very quick way if you don't know what to say, but just telling your story is very important as well. And then just something to initiate a discussion. So that's why I've written quite a few of gospel tracts. I find that it's very helpful for me just to initiate a discussion that way. The first one I wrote was just about my story. But then God have actually prompted me. I'm naturally a gifted writer, so I would take contemporary issues. So the title of my tracks, if you see them, they have nothing that will give you the impression that they're actually about the gospel. For example, the black and white cup of tea. Or another one would be The Amazing You. The Amazing You is one of the most popular ones. I take some biological facts about the human body and illustrate how wonderful you are, and then begin to draw that God actually wonderfully put you together for a purpose, and then from there I'll bring in the gospel. I wrote about when the Chilean miners were rescued. I used that as an unparalleled rescue and wrote a tract about that. So I try to write this tract on current issues, and so people will take them not actually being aware initially that it's a gospel tract. The titles want to be attractive and open, so people could read them openly. Reaching out is always there's always that nervousness, no lack of, you just worried, concerned, what will people take your message, how would they react to you? I think that's always, because there's always that fear. But one thing I have learned, someone said, do it afraid. So I've learned to just ignore that fear, do it, and in the process of doing it, confidence comes. And at times people's reaction is at times more favorable than what you think. One of the window cleaners in our estate, he came around to our house and I gave him a tract. So the next time he came around, I wasn't at home, but he met my wife Doris. So he was asking Doris whether I was a pastor. I think he wanted to know more. So Doris said, no, I'm not a pastor. So again, last Saturday actually, he came around again, and we really had a good discussion. And in the process of the discussion, I invited him to church. And he said, okay, I would like to come to your church. I give out these tracts out as many opportunities as I have. My GP has got a copy, my dentist have got a copy, and Christmas time, I put a tract in my Christmas cards to people who maybe I don't communicate with often. But that's the way I share the gospel, and I look for opportunities to talk about it when I meet with them. But I think it's that readiness of mind, actually looking for the opportunity. It could well be your neighbor maybe there's an opportunity for you to interact with your neighbor. It's just having that readiness of mind and actually looking for the opportunity. Opportunities to discuss with other people reminds me again of the goodness of God. At times I read my own tracts and some of the verses I use actually encourage me as well. About acceptance, God is not holding your sin against you. God is stretching out his arms as a loving father to welcome you home. I think those scriptures, even when you read them yourself, encourages your faith as well.